What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Quay Vision Board podcast. Today, another episode with another creator. This is somebody I met online. Man, the power of Instagram, right?
Right.
This is my boy John. John came through. He's been in this camera space for, he told me since like what, 2010?
Yeah.
It's 2022 now. Y'all can do the math. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to let my boy introduce himself. John, go ahead, talk to your camera.
What's up, world? This is JONSPASSION. I'm a cinematographer based in the greater Los Angeles area of Rancho Cucamonga. You know, I say greater because it's super far.
Yeah, man, so Southern California is a big place.
Right. Well, anything outside of Los Angeles, I just feel like people just think it might as well be Arizona, you know, because they're not going to go over there unless they really have to.
Exactly.
But good things are happening in Pomona. You know?
Hey, man, Pomona is coming up.
They are, man. I've seen them on a few shoots. Some commercial shoots have been done there. 911 did an episode there. Fun fact, I think it was like the one where they were like flooding Los Angeles, basically a big old tsunami or something hit.
Oh shit.
So yeah, like it's crazy. Like it was
They did that in Pomona?
Yeah,
Oh,
in Pomona.
Shit. I didn't even know that.
Knocked down the whole city for like a week or something. Downtown for like a week or something crazy.
Was that, how recent was that?
Either last year or the year before last. It was almost during the pandemic.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
And that's probably why I didn't hear about it. I was locked up in Irvine.
Yeah, bro. Everybody was,
trying to live this privileged life and blend in as much as I can.
There you go. Trying
to
stay
hide
off
the
of people's
shadows.
lawns and stuff.
Exactly. But yeah, so y'all know the way we usually do these episodes is we usually have a topic and we just kind of go in. But today we didn't have anything set, so
no topic.
We're just gonna talk, man. So John, I'm gonna start this off by just asking you a question. You've been in the filmmaking industry for a little over 12, 13 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to jump into this industry?
Good question.
Yeah,
so, like, trying to give the most brief answer would be I started in high school because I had a zero period. I needed a zero period. I was doing so bad in classes that they were telling me, if you don't take this zero period and get your grades up, you're not going to graduate. Mm-hmm. So the first year I went because I had to go. But the second year I went because I wanted to go. And I remember the moment that I started to like feel like I enjoyed it was the first project we got after learning about time code and filming and trying to log footage and all of these things, which are very technical, was the creative part where they said, hey, we want you to make a trailer out of your favorite movie. Ooh. And so back then, one of my favorite movies was like Fast and the Furious.
Oh, there you go.
The first one, you know,
I love that
like
movie.
That's the best one anyway, you know?
Exactly.
So I put it together and I start, showing people, and like it went from like one person watching it to like almost like it felt like 10 people were there behind me, and they were like, hey, yo, check out this video. And then I showed it and they were like, oh, this is sick, And so like I was like, oh, this feels kind of good.
That's how it starts, man.
So I did that and I didn't think any mind of it. I tried to do a broadcasting class in community college, which broadcast and film are two different worlds. Yeah. And so it really didn't capture my creativity or interest. And so then that's when I started thinking about, well, what if I, what else am I going to do? So I tried to handle my gen eds and stuff like that. Ended up about to flunk out of community college now.
I mean, we've all been there. If you've ever been to community college, you know you've been on the cusp.
Unless you have like a specific plan to get out of community college, bro, like it's not a good place to be.
It's a different beast.
It's a different beast. So pretty much was doing so bad that I went to the office. The lady who usually helped me when finding my classes was looking, and she was like, ooh, you should have been gone. Like, been gone? So
that hurts.
That was a crazy moment in my life. So after that, basically, I was going to a local church at that moment. The local church that I went to hit me up one day, said, "Hey man, we need somebody to edit a video for me, for us. Can you come through really quick? And then can you like edit it real quick?" So I edit. They're like, "Oh, this is really good. You wouldn't be looking for a job, would you?" I'm like, do I? I'm looking for a job. You know,
we
so
talking dollars and cents, like what we talking about?
So then I actually ended up working at that church for about 7 years. So that would start the 2010 to 2017, which is kind of where I cut my teeth. I learned a bit of, really refined my skills when it came to editing, when it came to like vision, storytelling, which is one of the things that I think that inspires me the most about video, is not just what you put on the screen, but how people feel because of what you put on the screen.
That emotion you convey. Yeah.
And I think that that's always been something that's me, because I've done other things. And even though this is like the thing that I do to make money, like sometimes I used to do music, I used to dance, like I used to do all these things, but it was more so because of how it made people feel. Yeah. There was a reaction that came from my actions.
Absolutely. So I always ask this question because I know for me, and the answer, I'm not even going to get into me right now, but for you, when you said that one of that first video that you made, that trailer to Fast and the Furious, and everybody's like, "Yo, this shit is dope. This shit is dope." Yeah. Looking back on it now, how dope was that video?
Oh,
if you were to look at it right now, I'll put it in front of you, you'd be like,
bro, I will probably cringe so hard. Like, cause this is just to give you, so I graduated in 2006. So we had the live type. I don't even know if people, I'm going to date myself. If you look up like OG live type fonts and stuff like that, like we had the electric letters. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was just that old, where it was like Fast and the Furious. And it was just like these little squigglies. Like I thought there was the song, everything that was dope was like, because you know you have that high pace freaking, you know, Vin Diesel hitting that gas and that car come up.
Yeah, like the concept.
I already knew what was gonna be dope at that moment, but like all of the other stuff, I already know. I'd be like, ooh, don't even look at me. There's some grace that needs to be had because,
no, 100, man. It's funny. I always like asking people that, especially when they're creators and get into the industry, because I know me looking back on the video that I first edited, I'm just like, oh my God.
I look at the videos that I edit now sometimes and still do the same thing. You know?
Yeah, a couple months ago, right? You just look back and you're like, whoa.
I'll say this, like even just a quick little nugget. When it comes to me, I love the fact of taking my time with an edit. You know, especially if you have, I know sometimes you have to push, you have to do things quick, you know, but you should be able to love it, hate it, and love it all over again by the time you give it to your client.
Ooh, that's a good one. I love
you
that.
know, because sometimes we'll just let the first cut be good enough. And sometimes it's not always the first cut that's good. Sometimes you might need some time. And I've done it. I've hit that space bar and been like, this is fire. Go to sleep, wake up the next morning and I'm like, what did I do?
Guys, that happens more often than you guys think. Man, and the worst feeling is when you create a video, let's say it's for a client, you send it to the client, and then a day later, you go back and look at that video just to kind of be like, all right, it's like, ooh,
I don't think I would have seen that. I wish they wouldn't have seen that.
Don't say nothing about that. Oh my God.
Is that mic really in frame? Like,
because it's funny because it's like when you're a creator and you're an editor and you're in your space and you're in your zone, there's so many little details that you miss because you were looking at the whole scope of the actual project.
Right.
And somebody can just come in and watch it one time and be like, oh, why'd you do that? I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that was there.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, man. Yeah. And that happens a lot. And that's why it's like you should be able to, some people say you need fresh eyes. Some people use other people's eyes, you know, and so being able to have another creative circle around you as well, who's not always going to tell you, oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, yeah, this looks darker than this. Is there a way for you to kind of like level this out?
Yeah,
Your
could you
camera
make
A and
that?
camera B ain't really synced like that. I can tell the difference. Like these are the things that, you know, you grow to appreciate the more that you do
100%.
video, you know, and you
Yeah.
do this because I shoot and I edit. And so, and the great thing is sometimes I have the opportunity to do both.
Yeah.
So when I shoot, I'm already knowing what I'm kind of looking for in the edit,
Shooting with the edit in mind.
you know,
Yeah.
but you know, I was just talking about that event that I shot recently.
Yeah.
You're shooting your camera, but you have to also be able to catch the story that other people are filming on their cameras, and then find the story between all three of them. Kind of like the Bible, like, you know, like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all got the same stories that went down, but just different approaches and perspectives.
100%.
So then, like, I kind of look at it like that. Like, okay, so we know Jesus gonna go on the cross, but at the end of the day, like, who's gonna tell what story and what perspective?
That's actually really interesting because I never thought about it like that. When you're out and you have a team or whatever, and you have 2-3 creators shooting the same event, each creator is different, and they're all shooting it from their perspective of what they see in the story that's in their head.
Facts.
And as an editor, you have to be talented enough to kind of, like you said, see all different sides of that and try to merge one big story through everybody's eyes. That's a nugget right there.
It
to
is.
All the creators out there, man. Make sure y'all pay attention to that one. Because
I've bumped my head a lot of times, you know, through the years. I remember working at my old job one time. I was shooting. We were trying to raise some money for a building for special need kids, and so it comes with a lot of raising money. And they wanted me to do a video called. It was a DNA video for the whole campaign. So it's like 5-minute video, but it incorporates footage from, I think the church was at least 15 years old.
Okay.
So I'm getting a whole bunch of people's footage.
That's a lot of footage.
A lot of footage to go through. A lot of different moments, a lot of sermons, a lot of, hey, can you look up this sermon from, you know, 94?
Damn.
And saying,
That's
hey,
a lot.
I need you to get this one line because it says this. And then, so I remember the first day I went, I put it together, 5 minutes, and my boss was like, this ain't it. Go back and do it again.
Damn. And then, I mean, that's tough for an editor too, because when there's always a lot of different types of feedback, right? So when you give somebody a project and they just be like, nope, this ain't it, without giving you any type of direction to be like, okay, why isn't that it? What can I do differently?
What can you do?
Yeah, like
And
give me some direction. What are you looking for?
And so it ended up being about almost a week of that. Back and forth. Like it broke me down kind of as an editor, because it's like,
that's devastating.
What am I, you know, missing? What's wrong? And he would tell me things. He would tell me like, fix this, or this is missing, or this drop makes this feel weird. Put this in. But like when I was done, he was like, now show me the first export you did, and then show me the one that you did now. And it was way too different videos. And the final one was so much better. And that's when I really learned, like I said, you got to have time to learn to love it and hate it. You have to really have the process to be able to do things. And that's the hard part of like this business, because sometimes you'll see that people want things yesterday.
Oh my God.
So you don't have time to love it and to hate it and to love it again. So now you're just like, all right, here, boom, you know, and with that is quality problems. With that is, I told him to get that chair out of the back of the frame, and now it's still in the frame because I didn't have time to do it.
That's a key thing. So if any you clients out there watching this right now,
yes,
this is, man. I understand people want content yesterday.
Right.
If you shoot it today, I want it yesterday, type of thing. But as a creative, if you give us a little more time to work on your project, we would make sure that it would be the best outcome. Because once we send it to you, it's like, especially as a creative, once we send it to you, that's
out to the ether, man.
That's fucking
it.
Don't come back to me two days later and be like, nah. Like, you got to pay extra for.
I was about to say that revision fee is real.
Revision fee is real,
you know?
Man. So like, because I I know when I first started, my biggest thing was like getting shit out quick, right? So I wanted like, oh, you know, every time I meted a client or whatever, and it was like, oh yeah, the last guy that I was working with, he just took way too long to kind of create stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm a quick editor. I like to do things fast. I'm gonna do things quicker to set myself apart from the pack.
I'm faster than him.
And what I didn't know was at the time that I was crippling myself because of that very reason of what you just said.
Yeah.
Is because when you get into this mindset of like pushing things out quick, you miss so many other different things when that project that you're working on could have been so much better had you just took a little bit more time. And a lot of times, a lot of people was like, nowadays, I tell people was like, if you want a quick little 30-second, 60-second edit, that's going to take at least 3-4 weeks. And people were like, it's going to take you 3 weeks, 4 weeks to make a 30-second teaser. It's like, well, I'm not going to be editing 2 weeks straight. Like, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works
like,
at all.
I edit for a little bit, sit back, do work on something else, come back, look at it.
And this is a job.
Exactly.
I have other clients. Like, you don't pay for just me to be your sole client. And like, if you...
Another thing. Like, I'm not just working for you.
Yeah. I think that's a hard part of, like, sometimes I wonder if I want to make almost a curriculum for... the people are about to buy, you know what I mean? Like almost like when you go to Disneyland and they tell you like before you get on the ride, all the things like, hey man, put your cool 3D glasses on, keep your hands inside the ride, the etiquette, because sometimes they just don't know. And I mean, I've learned that they're figuring out some things just like we're figuring out things. And the biggest thing is like the line between big business and production sometimes.
Yes.
You know, like you're that whole little, I don't even know what I want to call it, like bobby pin that's holding that together is ridiculous sometimes because they have expectations that you don't even like know if you can handle.
Exactly.
You know?
And they don't even understand and realize what they're asking.
Right. Like you said, 30-second cut, a 30-second cut would be 30 seconds, right? Yeah, it'd be easy to fix. Like 5 minutes, you can edit it.
Yeah.
No.
I watched it in 30 seconds. Like, why did
it take a week?
And that's another thing, too, because, like, when people see the final version of whatever you put together, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I could have did that. You know, you just find that clip, put it here. You didn't do nothing special. You're just like, yeah, but I scrubbed through hours.
Lying through your teeth,
it's like, that's not just it. Like, right there. It's not a button that you just push.
I went through that event footage, just a 3-day event. It took almost a week, just to go through, to really capture the story. Because like the hard thing is, and I try to make the effort to go through every clip that I can, because if somebody recorded it, it's for a reason.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I do is really look at that footage and see why'd you get that angle?
What do we have here?
What do you get here? You know, unless it's just like broadcast, like straightforward, like somebody speaking. But like even that, sometimes I got to scrub through it just in case, because they're going to get an angle. They're going to get an angle of something happening that's 1 in a million that I didn't get. And I'm like, oh, snaps. I didn't know that person was.
That happened. Yeah,
like praise and worshiping and crying. Like, okay. Like they was hit by this line that they said. And I didn't get that because I got the wide establishing shot with the crowd and they focus on one person.
Yeah.
You know, and so like even with that, like I've done weddings, I've done events, and you really play people to their strengths. Find ways to put people who are good at certain things where they're supposed to be at. Because me, like even when I shoot weddings, like I want some people who are good with establishing work, so then I could do some of the creating work. So then like, hey, if I have somebody who's doing like the vows and getting the angles of the people speaking, then that means I get the cool stuff. That means I get the reactions. That means I get the wide. That means I get all these other things that allow me to like put together the edit that I'm looking for.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of times we don't set ourselves up for that success in the editing room. You know, like fix it in post is like the biggest urban myth ever. I you know, because either your producer's gonna try to say that and they're like, hey, well, can you fix it in post? And I'm like, no. You know, like I don't know who told you that.
Fix it in post basically means that we're gonna scrap that and put something else in its place.
Right. So
fix it in post. I can't make you say the right line. Like it's not.
I can't change change the background. I can't make you brighter if everything's underexposed. I can't do these things in post.
Yeah,
I can't mask you.
I can't make
Like,
you 100 pounds lighter. That's just
right. I can't all of a sudden, can you Photoshop me? No, this is video.
Yeah, man.
That's a whole different thing. And people do this, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny.
It ain't gonna cost you the $1,000 you paid me for this video.
Right.
And that's another thing, because especially for like clients, if you're listening, this is why things cost the way they cost, right? Just like he was saying, when you're like say for instance, a wedding. When you show up on a wedding and you guys want to be quote unquote cheap and don't want to hire multiple videographers,
right?
We're not gonna be able to we're one person. We're not gonna be able to capture
there's
everything.
Levels to these stories,
man. You know, there's so many different aspects to that day that one person is not just gonna be able to go out and just do. So hiring 2-3 videographers is gonna make your overall video that much better, because we're able to capture more stuff.
It's facts. Like I look at when I talk to clients, sometimes I talk about car commercials. I'm like, you, what do you want? Because sometimes you can say do you want the Ford commercial? Because they go on, off roads. They, go on mountains. They maybe lug a big old boat. Yeah. But then you look at the Mercedes commercial, they got a CGI Santa. They going through the hills. Yep. You know what I mean? Like they doing it up. Yep. They got a freaking airport full of Astera tubes. And it's like there's levels. So when you talk to your clients, you say, what are your expectations? And then the memes are always real, like the client's expectation versus the reality of the budget. Yeah. Let's find what your real budget is, and then let's try to make the best content we can with it. But a lot of times you can't expect somebody to make something without the budget.
and then that's why we ask you guys for the budget, because we need to know what your guys are thinking. Because 9 times out of 10, when a client comes to you, they already have something in mind that they saw that they want you to kind of mimic, right?
Pretty much.
So when
the reference video,
we've
all seen it.
And a lot of clients try to act like they don't have one. It's like, oh yeah, I just want you to do your thing, and you do your thing. It's like, oh no, it's not something like this. Like, why didn't you just send me that from the jump so I can get an idea of what we were working with? So
and I'll tell you the real, because most of the time, and that's the hard part too. Like I see it. I see videos and. And with the rise of internet, social media videos, because there's this gap now. There's this like 15 years ago, people didn't even know what a red camera was. You know what I mean? Like, and then before that, like it was just production, and then like your uncle's camcorder. Yep.
That's
there's very little in between that's known in these streets, right? Yep. But now, like even with there was like music videos, big old Chris Brown music videos, 100,000, Michael Jackson Thriller, 1.7 million or something crazy. Budgets, right? World Star music videos, $500.
Man.
So there's 100,000, $1 million budgets over here, and then 500. And so like now, because of the birth of that, they're just kind of like pushing forward into that area. But while they're doing that, less and less people are going to those big budgets.
Bigger budgets, yeah. Because they just want something that they can just get by with and just post on social media and just have content.
That's the passage, like the fee of passage is not the same anymore. Like you can go viral off of something that does, that's just on your phone.
iPhone, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's good. And then it's like, it's got its pros and cons. For sure. As a business person, it's like, well, where do we go? And, and what's the mecca for us? Where are we trying to get to at the end of the day?
I was actually going to ask you about that, because especially the world that you come from, you're full on cinematographer. And if you guys don't know the difference between a video creator and a cinematographer, I'll let him dive into that, because I barely know the difference my damn self. I'm somebody that's just a video creator trying to get into the world of cinematography eventually, but
Well, yeah.
it's a different game, and a lot of people don't realize and don't understand, because I have people hit me up
Mm-hmm.
and they'll send me a reference video, but it'll be from like a music video that had like a
Yeah, $50-person crew.
$600,000 budget or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, I get where you're going with it,
Right.
and it's a lot of times the clients they just don't know, right?
Right.
Because they see something on YouTube and it's like, oh
Right.
yeah, that looks fairly simple. Well, can you mimic this?
Pretty
like,
much.
yeah, I can if your budget is going to be
Reflective
$50,000
of what it costs to make it.
100%. And I like you said, the distance between just like video creation and cinematography, a lot of people just don't realize what actually goes into a lot of these higher and bigger budget productions. Like, just because you see us, I remember one time, just a quick little story. I remember one time a client sent me a video of somebody sitting down on a bench just talking to somebody. It looked super simple. There was no cuts. There was no major edits.
Right.
It was like, yeah, can we do something like this? I'm like, we can.
Right.
It's not going to look like that.
No.
I was like, why? He's just out in the sunlight and just broad daylight, no lights or anything like that. It's like, you think they know lights.
You think there's no lights.
There's some lights out there.
That's the goal. Like when we shoot, we want things to look natural.
As natural
and
as possible.
So the more you train your eye, the more you know where things are and where things aren't.
It's
who's
crazy.
shooting
It's
what
funny
ways.
because once I started to get into this, I watch movies different now.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching movies. It's like, okay, there's a light up there. There's a private light.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
all this
everything
3-point lighting.
Everything that you see, like if you're watching a movie, TV show, music video, everything that you see,
It's hard to turn it off.
it's strategically placed there for a reason. That little light in the corner is not just like, oh, it was there. We're just gonna no. They strategically place that light there to have that type of effect.
The art department. I was on a shoot one time for BET for like a small like they were doing a contestant show where it's like you have one chance to be like a superstar or something like that. So I have 3 artists. They want to shoot a music video, or they want to record a song with them, shoot a music video, and then do like a performance. I was part of the music video part. So I was working with the female artist that was going to be on the show as the cinematographer. Like, and that was just when I was starting too. So the first scene is supposed to be her having an argument at her like apartment with her boyfriend.
Right.
So we're about to get this shot ready. I'm like, I need a light here, put this light here, put these lights there. This guy comes up randomly. He's a part of my team called art department. Art department says, hey man, do you like those cups? I said, cups? Yeah, the ones that are on the counter right there. You know what? I don't like those cups. I actually don't. And I never thought about it like that, you know? So then he's like, I'll be right back. So he starts getting cups. Then he finds like a bowl with some like fake fruit on it. He finds other things. All of a sudden, this set started to have more of a homely feel. And it went from like an empty apartment almost to like, you could feel like somebody lives here.
A real thing.
And so like, and some people would think that's small, but like that is so intricate to what we do, you know?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called set design.
Set design.
I mean, like you watching the movie and you're just like, oh yeah, they were probably eating before they shot on set and there was just an empty cup there. It's like, no. Somebody came and strategically
they asked for specific cups from a specific, like down to the eras, down to the colors, down to the tones. They're people who think about this stuff like night and day.
Who get paid a lot of money to come up with stuff like that.
Yes. And so like, even when because we're back to the movie thing, you watch movies different. Like I watch movies and now I look at the credits differently. And you're telling me like, hey, like, can you do this by yourself? But then you look at Avengers Endgame and the trailers are like 12 minutes long.
Yeah, the movie credits go for like 30 minutes. And you're just like, that. Like,
you know?
And I, for sure, because like before I got into this, I didn't look at that as like there was all these people.
Right.
It's just names, right?
Yeah.
So once you know, and like, so if you're a client, next time you watch a movie, just sit there and watch the credits.
Yeah.
And just read every single name. what they do. You'll be reading for a while and you realize that every single person on that list got paid to do something for that movie. And you wonder why these movies cost billions of dollars to make.
Right.
A lot of times it's because of that. It's because of the location. It's because of there's so many different
they
things. They
run the bill for a lot of different things, I was watching the cinematographer for Dune. They're just talking about even like, he's like, oh, I ran a small crew of 14 people. And like to some people, 14 is still a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, we couldn't do much. We couldn't do our steady cam shots. We couldn't do all these other technocrane shots. We needed a small footprint.
Yeah.
Bro, they're in Israel with the mountains. And you're telling me with the big budget that they had, like, bro, they didn't have enough.
It's crazy.
And it's just like,
it's crazy.
But sometimes it's also about just what you need. And that's why a cinematographer is a cinematographer. Their job is to, like director of photography, you're the head of the look, the aesthetic, and the departments that make that aesthetic happen.
You have to be in charge of all that. DP is a stressful gig, man.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. That's why I wanted to. I've always been like that. I started kind of even going back to like full circle with our first question. I started doing this because I was editing and I was tired of people giving me like crap
things to work with. Yeah.
And so I was just like, you can't keep getting me polishing this turd.
You'd be sitting there editing. I was like, oh man, I wish you would have just
I would have done this different. I would have shot this different. 100%. I would have held this shot longer. And so then I was just like, man, there's just something that pulls me in about the aesthetic of a frame.
Absolutely. I'm the same
more
way.
Than anything. Like some people will literally salivate over lights all day. They're gaffers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Some
100%.
people will literally be like, the sound is off. And that's why they do sound design.
Absolutely.
Like you find these things that like just really speak to you in the journey. And because of it, like it's like a black hole of like creativity and like love for what you do.
Absolutely, man. It's so powerful, man. It's like the more and more I get into these fields and the more and more I learn about the different type of stuff that goes into them, because I was on a Coca-Cola shoot. Not too long ago.
I saw that.
We got to talk about this because
let's go into it.
Okay, so this was one of the first times I've ever seen a big production. And
right.
Coca-Cola, they don't play. They don't play around. They no expense.
You're right.
So right. I want you guys to just understand that I was on set and I wasn't even in the camera department. Mm-hmm. So I was hired on as a stylist assistant.
There you go.
So there was
anything to get the foot in the door.
Anything to get the foot in the door. I was like, man, I'm about to get into this.
I'll be in here, right?
So for you guys don't understand what a stylist assistant is or what a stylist is. So
right.
A beverage stylist is in charge of mixing drinks to make the Coke look presentable to be on camera.
Right.
I had no idea this was an actual job.
This is a science.
This dude gets paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to come up with a formula of 60% Sprite and 40% Coke to make the
fizz right.
To make the fizz right and to make the glow of the Coke look appetizing or whatever. It's like, because I don't know if you've ever, next time you look at a Coca-Cola commercial, look at the actual Coke product, right? The liquid, it looks like a golden brown.
Right.
Coke is black.
Yeah.
But it doesn't shoot well when it's black.
Exactly.
So that's why.
Because it absorbs all the light.
Exactly. That's what a stylist assistant comes in and makes sure there's that right blend for whatever type of shot, whatever type of environment. So there's all this going on, right? So I'm over here like eyes wide open and just like, what is this? So they pay this guy to do that. And you would think it's like for a job, like a Coke job, it's like, okay, yeah, one guy can just mix drinks and then pour drinks into a bottle. That's nothing. So it was a stylist assistant, and he had 2 assistants, me and someone else.
There you go.
I got paid. We were there for what? It was like an 18-hour shoot.
Oh, geez.
We were on set from I got on set around 6 a.m. We didn't wrap until about 7.
Yep.
I was there however many hours that is. Y'all can do that math at home, but however many hours that is. All of that, it was a 30-second spec commercial.
Yeah. You said spec?
It's a 30-second Coca-Cola spec commercial. Everything happened in one environment.
Okay.
It wasn't a spec commercial. It was an actual commercial.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure.
Not bad. I don't know why I even said that, but it was an actual commercial. So everything happened within. So the concept of the commercial was there's this basketball chick named Brianna Stewart.
Okay.
You guys know who that is, but she plays in the WNBA. She's a beast.
Yeah.
So the concept is she walks up to a Coke machine. She has a voice in her head, which is Lisa Leslie, and telling her, it's like,
the OG.
yeah. So she's looking, and she was like, yeah, which one should you choose? Either Coke Zero or regular Coke.
Right.
And Lisa Leslie's in her head was like, I know what I would choose, what champion choose, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
She chooses, she gets her drink, she takes a sip and walks away. That's the commercial.
Yep.
It took us 15 hours to shoot that. So for the one thing, the vending machine. They brought the vending machine in from Coca-Cola. The vending machine was empty. It wasn't empty. There was a lot of Coke in there. We had to take all the Coke out, remix every single bottle, over 100 Coke bottles, put them back into the vendor. And when you see the commercial, you maybe see like 5 or 6 Coke bottles.
Yep.
Like, why do we have to mix all these damn bottles if not even going to be in the shot? But that's the attention to detail.
Because all them takes.
That's the attention to detail.
You got to get ready for the DP to say, can we do that one more time, please? This is the last one.
Yeah. So I say all that to say that, like, when you're on these bigger budgets, everything is precise.
It's meticulous.
Super meticulous. And I was sitting there just like, well, damn.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope. I love that. And
then you go back to like the other shoots.
A creator is just like,
your client's home late or coming in late. They're, they're just saying, "Oh, we'll just wing it," and you're like, man, Lord, work on me.
But by the way, being a stylist assistant for a 12-hour job or whatever, I got paid about. Not to throw money out there, but I got paid about $700-800 for that job. Yeah. Some of y'all would pay me $700-800
for the whole project.
For the entire project.
Wait, for 2 videos.
For 3 videos. What do you mean? It's a 4-day shoot. I need you to do $300 a day.
Follow me everywhere.
So, and I know we're kind of just coming from a creator's perspective because, we're in the industry. I know a lot of you guys out there that don't know about the industry, just don't know about the ins and outs that goes into these type of steps. That's one of the reasons why I like doing this podcast is to kind of fill you guys in, because like when we come up with these crazy numbers for budgets and you hit us up for a video and we're like $2,000, you're like, what? It's just this, that, and the third. You guys have to understand that there are moving parts. And I love when people hit me up and was like, oh yeah, I want you to just do something. They prefer always to kind of dress it up, was like they try to soften the blow a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, something simple. I just wanted you to do this, right? $300. That's all I want to spend. I was like, bro, like you can't rent my camera for $300,
right? Let
alone bring me somebody that knows how to use it and use the editing software and all that other stuff.
The hard part is, and I'm a full disclosure. I've done stuff for free. I've done stuff for the low. I've done it all, but like when you think about one thing, that the OGs always say, you can't get back time. Yep. You can never get back time. And so the goal is, at the end of the day, when I put my head to the pillow, like, how much is a day of your life worth?
Yeah.
Like if you had a number, like, listen, this is for you. If you had a number for how much a day of your life is worth, what is that number? Like, find it, write it down, and go get it. But like some days you might be able to go lower, and some days you might go higher. But at the end of the day, you should be able to put your head to the pillow and know, like, hey, I got my worth. Yeah. But like doing video for the low, like let's say you're asking me to shoot and edit and give you an export of a video for $200. Okay, so not only am I going to pay for gas prices, which are crazy right now, I just spent $70 just filling up my tank right now.
Insane.
Right? So let's just say I filled it up halfway. That's still $30 out of $200. So I'm at $170, right? Mm-hmm. Then I go home, I shoot. So let's say I took $100 out for just the shooting, and then you're asking me to edit for $70.
And that's hours in front of a computer, and not doing anything but working on your video.
And the fun part is, it seems like sometimes, and not always, but like the people with the bigger budgets usually ask for less, And the people with the smaller version budgets are always asking for the
They
revisions.
want the moon and everything surrounded by
They
it.
want that because they're holding on, they're white knuckling that video. And I get it because like even why I'm John's passion, I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about storytelling. I'm passionate about creativity. And so like when I came out here, I wanted to help people.
Yes.
I saw that I had a product that I was able to say like, hey, like you might need this to be able to get into that big room to be able to pitch your business. You might need this to be able to get that acting gig that you're looking
Absolutely.
for, that documentary shoot that you want to catalog for your nonprofit or business, that music video that you need to be able to get signed to that label, that narrative that you may want to be able to pitch. So we make a short film. These are the things that I was like drawn to when I wanted to start.
Yeah.
And so like, the hard part is sometimes when people are holding on, they're holding on so tight because they think this one video is going to change the game. If you're holding on that tight, you need a better strategy.
Yep. And that's one of the things as creatives that we have to kind of protect ourselves by, because like you said, when people come and they have that and they're holding on to every little cent and they're looking for a big return for their video, and you just gotta like, you have to make them understand it's like, because you're holding on so tight and the video, it's not going to perform like you want it to.
No.
That's number one. And because it doesn't perform like you want it to, you're going to come and have an indictment on me as a creative that I didn't deliver X, Y, and Z. It's like, well,
this is where we end up getting the proverbial. There's a whole bunch of reasons I get this, but almost where I have to be like, I'm not like them other videographers, girl. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. You know, like because now it's like, well, this guy didn't give me this views, or this guy was late, or this guy didn't give me the edit when I want to, and it's like now you have to play that game, and you know, or you don't. But I've been there before where I felt like I almost had to be like, man, I'm not like them other dudes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually here to work. I got your back, you know?
Yeah.
But doing those shoots, it's just, I've seen so many people who, like they're so focused on that one video, but they're not focused on the post around it. They're not focused on the hashtags. They're not focused on the real music that they're going to use, the time of day that they're going to post it, the SEOs, the things that back up whatever video that you're about to post. They just hoping that after they post it, I've seen people just, I'm gonna post it at 9:43 p.m. on a Wednesday, tag 2 people, and they're like, why is it not going
I got
viral?
3 likes, man. Your video is trash.
Your video, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, the video wasn't trash. You just didn't do it. I've seen people with the worst video. You've all been on YouTube, and you've heard these are some nice mics. This is a nice camera. This is a nice lighting setup.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen people with the cell phone. I'm saying, hey guys,
Reverb
I just made
crazy.
$100,000 this last week, and I'm here to tell you how to make $100,000 too. And you're like, oh, really?
My goodness. Fucking skin tone is super yellow.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
Crazy reverb. Audio sounds terrible.
Bro.
And they can drive that video to hundreds and thousands of views because of delivery and the things that they put behind it. And
Exactly.
you take something with a don't get me wrong, a beautiful image and cinematography will definitely help push your video to the masses.
It's all about getting to the end zone.
It is all of there's levels to it. It's all about the approach,
Bro.
and the marketing scheme behind you pushing that one video.
Exactly. You're not Beyonce. You don't just get to drop the Lemonade album.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of clients, especially like these small business owners in this new day and age with the whole social media world, they try to come and they try to like talk themselves into getting content.
Right.
So once they talk themselves into getting content, they want to put something online. But a lot of times it's just to kind of build and help their own ego. And you're not looking at your business. It's like, what type of video can really help your business?
Yeah.
Not just you look cool on Instagram.
The flex video.
Yeah, the flex video, they're nice, they're cool.
Right.
But if you're really looking for a great ROI on these videos, return of investment, you have to like set yourself apart and put together a real strategy. So like when people come to me and they hit me up with a video idea, and I'm just like, okay, what, I just start to ask questions like, okay, what is this video? What do you plan to get out of this video? All this other stuff. And I was recently talking to somebody a couple months ago. I was like, dude, why you like, you asking like, I just want a video. And they're just like, it's like, yeah, I can make you a video. That's no problem. I can, show up, make you look amazing. You're going to post it. People was like, oh man, I see you out there working, blah, blah, blah. You looking good. Everything looks good. And then it just dies. You're not going to get no sales. Nobody's looking at what you do.
Goal?
What's the goal?
And video is a tool.
Man.
That's why, like, as JONSPASSION, I'm like, bro, like, I want to get you the right tool. Like sometimes it's a wrench, sometimes it's a hammer, sometimes it's neither, And so like you have to be able to say like, what is your end goal when you're doing a video?
Not just 200 likes. That's not an end goal, guys.
It's not. I mean,
it can be, but it's not a real one.
Are you looking for more traffic on your page? But what is that traffic supposed to do? Are they supposed to book you? Yeah. Are they supposed to get you to, like, if you're a speaker, are you trying to fly out more? So then that's a whole different strategy. I need to be shown flying out other places. Are you trying to stay local? Well, then I need to go deeper into my community. Are you trying to let people know about your life so that they can donate more? Okay, that's a whole different video, And so some people, and even the other thing is doing too much in one video.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a big one.
Like, can I get the DNA/fitness/car/ and then they want it all in one day, like documentary style, but they want to turn that documentary into a commercial.
Man,
it's two different shoots.
It's funny because Sim, a good friend of ours, we I don't know, I talk about this dude a lot, but anyways, so Sim, he's been recently doing a lot of like real estate type of gigs, and the real estate agents that he's shooting though, they're asking for a lot of like lifestyle content.
The flex.
Yeah, the big flex, getting on private jets. And if it ain't tricking if you got it.
Right.
Like if you want that stuff, I'm not knocking it, and I'm just using this as an example. But if you're somebody that's doing, let's just say real estate, right? And you come to me, it's like, yeah, I want to do this video of me walking into the gym, taking my, it's like
Tim packing all glistening.
But you're a real estate agent. Like, what is this video going to do? Is just a flex? If it is, cool. We can do that all day long. It's going to be the same price. But if it's like something that you want to kind of generate more business, you have to kind of, like you said, you have to come up with a different strategy. And a lot of people these days, especially these days with the whole power of social media, a lot of people equate followers and likes to success. And sometimes you can get that. And if you're a TikToker, YouTube, whatever, a lot of likes can generate a lot of success. But it's going to take a lot of time to take in order to get that. But 1,000 likes on Instagram is not going to get you anywhere.
Right. I've done it before. I've gone viral when I first started doing more of the videography side. Yeah. I did like a video for a gender reveal, got like 3 million views on a site, and I didn't get pretty much nothing from it. Didn't like a few inquiries, but like maybe one of them, and then the pandemic hit, and then that was it.
Shut it down.
Like, but you think that those views really would do something, and they don't. Like unless you can find a way to transition those people who are viewing or liking into to business. The end zone of like booking you. That's the goal,
and that's what you should be. That's a strategic strategy that you should be. I want to try to get these views into paying clients, not just get these views to look at me like, hey, look, I'm cool.
I'm cool. The flex. It's like, okay, like you do real estate, but you're trying to sell me a house with your shirt off, or what? It doesn't always work.
It's viral content. It's nice. You're gonna get in front of a lot of eyes, but now you're getting in front of eyes, and they're looking at you like, oh, this guy is just a gimmick. I'm not gonna. I like to go to his page, look at his videos, but I'm not gonna call him.
They're not here for the house. That's the hard part. They're there for your abs. They're not there for the house. And if you look at it like, then we fail them as video people because now, like, what are we doing? Are we just shooting to like one of the things that I like this. To look at when I look at the online is like, when I look at the online world, I just feel like a lot of people are telling the same story.
Absolutely. It's all copycatting.
It's all copycatting,
Yeah.
you know? And so he saw something that he thought was cool, so he put that on there, or he was watching TV, and it's like you filmed in front of a Lamborghini, but you got into a Ford Focus.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's get into that real quick, the whole copycatting, because even as in the creative space,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Cinematographers, videographers, creators, whatever the case, there's so much more of that going on right now. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm not here to knock it because I do it to an extent too.
Right.
Buy ideas off of different type of creators and
Right.
things like that. But he said, we were talking about something earlier in this podcast, and if you're a creator out there, please pay attention to this. There's no substitute for a good story.
No.
You can have all the fancy transitions. You can have the best camera. We were talking about that off camera a little bit. You can have the greatest and baddest camera. You can have the $3,000 lens. But if you cannot put a story together, your content is not going to do well.
No.
Content is king. Everything else is, I guess, queen.
Like, it's rough. Like, you know, like I've seen people who do fitness videos, and then it's like the guy who walks into the gym, takes off with his bag.
It's the same shit.
You know, takes it off, hits the powder in his hands.
Looks amazing.
Gets the powder into his supplement, shakes it up really quick in slow motion, hits it like this. It's game time. Hit the music, and then, you know, and I'm like, okay, so how many times are you going to do this story for? You know, and to some extent it works because it's like, okay, people are going to watch it, but are people booking you? Are people following you?
And that's a question that we all need to ask ourselves: is if somebody gonna look at this and be like, I need to hire this guy, I need to throw him some money for this, or is people gonna look at it and be like, damn, he's in really good shape. All right, swipe. Who's the next person? You know, it's one of those things. You know, get you a quick little tap. And,
little double tap,
because I mean, I've been there. Like those double taps can have you
make you feel some type of way. Right,
so,
right.
I mean, and you know, it does go a lot to like your own psyche and make you want to do more and do all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to set yourself apart in business and really trying to get out here and make money, you have to really take yourself out of the equation, really step back and look at your business. Don't look at yourself, look at your business.
Facts.
And then get with your creator, your videographer, your cinematographer, and come up with a game plan that's going to best deliver your message to get more business.
Facts. The biggest thing that I've seen is some of my favorite cinematographers post a picture or a frame and only have 30 likes. And they are beasts. They're doing things way beyond us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's like, well, then maybe the goal isn't about getting all the likes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something deeper. Maybe it's about being able to do what you love with or without the likes.
Exactly.
You know, even for me, that's kind of what I've learned. Like I've done the, you know, let me hurry up and just post. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. And I'm like, but like when you could be able to be off the grid
and still make it,
it's a whole different feeling. And nobody can tell you what you can or can't do.
Don't nobody even know who you are.
Because, bro, I've always, like, when I wanted to come in the game, I wanted to be the person that you called when you needed to get it done and you wanted to get it done right.
Right.
Like, that's it. Yeah. Like, I wanted to be like the Grandmaster Sifu on the mountain who needs to come down to beat the dragon. Like, that's who I want to be. I'm fine-tuning. I'm dialed in. You call me. Let's run it. Let's run the play, and I'm going to get it to the end zone. That's where I want to be. Yeah. You know, and sometimes it's hard to focus on that and focus on the social media aspect. Like, my hat's off to content creators.
It's tough.
Because
it's a tough world.
It's both. You can't just do, like, you have to be the celebrity and the shooter.
No, it's so hard.
And it's a lot to do. And then it's a lot to do and not get the love that you feel like you deserve. So, like, I hats off to content creation.
No,
that's why
it does kind of feel like we up here just trashing content creators and all these, you know, influencers.
Like I said, that's why I said I have to give my big ups because everybody has their own lane, and that's why I'm like, I chose my lane ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, some people may want to be in the content creation field and be that celebrity. I don't think I'm okay with it yet because I don't feel like when I do it, I don't feel authentic yet.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I feel like because there's a lot of YouTubers out here, TikTokers and things like that, especially on the YouTube space. Because I equate a lot a lot of my knowledge to YouTube because that's
Right.
I didn't go to
YouTube University,
I didn't
bro.
go to film school, but like I would watch a 10-minute YouTube video and it'll just be like, okay, a 10-minute YouTube video, and you see this creator walking past cameras and shit. You know how long stuff like this dude set up a camera, hit record, went back,
Right.
ran across, then went back to get his. It's like there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that we don't necessarily think
Try
about.
not to sweat and breathe hard.
It's tough, and like you said, hats off to the people that do that because
Facts.
Sometimes these YouTube videos that's 5-10 minutes long take days to make, and y'all, that's another thing y'all don't realize, man. Some of this content that y'all really like takes a really long time to kind of create, to kind of map out a storyboard and shot list and all these other different type of factors to it. So, but yeah, man, like we said, kudos to those who do it. I know I'm trying to do it and a little bit here and there, just kind of get my feet into this whole YouTube space, just because it's something that I just kind of want to try. But it's like I said, man, me getting into it now, I thought, I make videos for a living.
It makes sense.
It's gonna be easy, right? And I started doing my first YouTube videos. I'm just like, yo, bro, this is
not as easy as I thought it would be.
Easy as it looks.
It's a muscle, like everything else, creatively, and you got to work it out. You got to put in the hours. Like
you can't
these
go
people
half-ass.
that are G's at it, bro. Like when I first started, it was like Jacob Owens was the man. He did everything. He does everything, and so it's like for you to think about shooting a project, but also shooting the behind the scenes of the project and telling that story, and then thinking about the product that you're probably selling inside of the midst of that project. Like there's so many different levels, you know.
And that's one thing too. You have to be really good at what you do in order to manage all that. Because if you're on set shooting for a client, you have to put your all into that, and then you're trying to get behind the scenes promoting the project,
right?
And because when you have a lot of that going on, it's really easy to miss something.
That's even that because I'm reminded of a story. So teams are very important. Teams, how you build your teams, super important. So back to the music video shoot that we were talking about, the first one that I did.
Yeah. One
of the other people that was on the squad was a friend of Jacob Owens. So I come up, I have my A6300, my AT-105 with the Ronin M. I'm about to shoot this music video. And so his friend comes through and I meet him, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to direct it, but my guy's going to come in and he's going to be the cinematographer. I didn't know who it was. All of a sudden I see these two big old Dodge Durango SUVs pull up.
Yes, sir.
And they was gonna bring the red out. They was gonna bring everything, right? And I was like, dang, y'all came to ish on us. Like y'all was really about to kill us right now. Because the goal was we go all shoot a music video, and we're all three going to have to do it in like a certain amount of time in this one location. So I see them pull up, and I'm just like, bro, and this is the first time I'm meeting Jacob Owens too. Yeah. So then the producer was cool. My guy, we still, Ron, his name's Ron. He's dope. So he's like, nah, you guys can't use that. We're all going to use the same cameras, A7S2s with the same lens package, because at the end of the day, like we want everybody to be able to have the same thing and work with the same thing. And it was great because it also was just about it wasn't about the gear. It was about who's shooting with the gear. Everybody all had the same gear. Everybody all had the same setups. Who's going to do what with what they got, Absolutely. And so that I just bring that up to say, like, sometimes you need the right team too, though, because if you're doing that kind of level of production, that's what a BTS shooter is about. That's what if I can have somebody I can trust with the smaller story, so I can tell the bigger story. I'm going to give them full reign to do that.
Yeah.
I
mean, you got to have that creative mind. And like you said, man, you can have, I talk about this with other creators all the time. It's like, you can get 3 different people shoot the same exact subject in the same exact environment and same exact everything.
Right.
You take those 3 people, they go put together an edit, you're going to get 3
Different.
completely different edits. Because at the end of the day, in this creative world, that's exactly what it is. It's creative. It's your own creative mind. Whatever you feel like in your body to create this, that's yours. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do things. As long as you get the technical things down packed and all that other stuff, where you go with it, that's you.
It is.
And you putting, and this is for creators out there, if you're trying to put yourself out there and trying to market yourself and brand yourself, try not to bite the style of other people to a degree where you lose your own creative niche. Because that's why people will hire you.
They pay for your voice.
They pay for you. They pay for your vision. They pay for your creative workflow. So if you're out, because there's been a time where I'll put together a series of videos. People will look at my videos and be like, yo, I want to hire you to do this. And then I'll be like, okay, now I'm getting hired for real. Now I got to go look at other creators. It's like, I need to learn how to make videos like you because they're coming to me, paying me real money to do things. And I go,
the pressure's on.
And try to bite somebody else's style. And I give them the video and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Like, no, this ain't you, Quay. Like, I want you to
put your
Quay
touch.
Yeah, we want the Quay. And that's when I realized just like, well, shit. All right, well, you're hiring me because you saw some of the work that I did. So it makes me stupid to get a client based off the work that I did and try to bite somebody else's style to try to...
They came looking for you and you tried to give them somebody else because you thought that's who they wanted.
I'm sitting over here thinking, like, well, this dude has way more followers, way bigger following than me. I need to make videos like him if I want to get to that point. And that is not the case, guys.
And there's that healthy line, man.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll find it. Like take your time.
Yeah.
You'll incorporate things. Try to incorporate what other creators do, not copy.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's 100%, man. So, I'm not going to lie, bro. When we first set this up, I did not know that conversation was going to go that goddamn good.
Yeah,
that
bro.
was a really good episode right there. That was a really good conversation.
Yeah,
I learned a lot.
I got plenty more in the chamber. Let me know.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on, and we'll definitely have some more nuggets because I feel like a lot of young creators watching this particular episode will get a lot from that. Because there was a lot of information in that 1 hour that we were just talking. So if you have to rewind, if you have to play it back, whatever. And as I said every episode, but I bring people on that are out here doing the same things that we're doing. That's not super celebrity status. That's not ignoring DMs and just looking back and laughing at you on purpose. You can reach out to this man. You can ask him questions, and he would be more than happy to get back to you guys, answer any of your questions and things like that. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to make it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
it's facts.
What we like to do, end of the videos, we like to give nuggets. So John, look into your camera if you have a nugget, a piece of advice for any young creator out there that's looking to get where you are. Because there's one thing that I learned the other day is like, you can be at a 5 and you can teach everybody 4 and below.
Right.
You don't have to be at a 10 to teach people at a 1.
Right.
So whatever you got for the people watching you, what kind of advice would you got for us? Give us a nugget.
Good nugget. Let's see. I think hunger. Hunger is where it's at, man.
Hunger Games.
I think the hunger game is real. I think one of the things, like I said, I started out being John's passion because like Christ had his passion. So then I had mine. I'm passionate about people. I know why I'm here and I know what I came to do. A lot of people will do things because they feel like they're just trying to like make money. You know what I mean? Like if this thing is for you just to make money, like, why are you here? You know, or not to say like this, I'll see you somewhere else because as soon as there's another way to make quick, fast money, you'll be there. I think finding what your purpose is. My nugget is this.
There we go. Let's hear it.
Here, we'll scrap all of that. Sorry.
Let's hear it. We're waiting for this one.
My nugget is this. Unless you're in the place that you're called to be in your life, you'll never give 100% of what you're really capable of doing.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
Like I've seen people, I always give the metaphor. If you're a Jeep and you're on a racetrack, it's not where you're supposed to be. If you're a Ferrari and you're on the freaking side of a mountain trying to climb it, it's not where you're supposed to be.
100%.
You know, unless you're that Jeep on the mountain, and unless you're that Ferrari on the track, you'll always be feeling like you're missing a step. And so unless you find that place that you're supposed to be and called to be, you'll always kind of be one step behind.
Ooh.
So take that time, find out what you love to do and why you love to do it. I knew like faith is a big part of me, family, creativity, love, stories, and emotions, because that's what makes me who I am.
Absolutely.
So when I found this place, it was the first place that I felt like I could compete and do something and make a dent in life. Like I was called to be here. And so like being here has given me so much more fulfillment than almost any other stage in my life.
Oh, man.
Because I was trying to fit into something that wasn't me. Some people say they want to be cinematographers when they're not supposed to be cinematographers.
100%.
Some people say they want to be video people when they are supposed to be, and they thrive and they love it.
Absolutely.
And so I would say my tip is you will never be fully happy. You will never be fully in your pocket unless you're in the right place and right position. You know, as a football player, that it's not just about being in the right position. Like if you're supposed to be able to be the receiver, they throw the ball, you got to be in position.
Man,
you have to be at the right place at the right time with the right play. And when you do that, you get to the end zone. Most people are just trying to find a way to get to the end zone. So I encourage you, find where you're supposed to be at. Find what you're supposed to be doing. Find that place, because when you do and you tap into that, you can't be beat.
Hey, man, I've never heard it quite in that perspective before. That was brilliant, bro. That was really good. I hope y'all was listening to that, because, man, I got a lot from that too. Damn.
Little Shondo.
Yeah, that was a great nugget. And just to kind of piggyback off that a little bit, it's when you're out here doing your thing, guys, you have like you said, just find your lane and just run with it, man. Because wherever you're supposed to, like, I read a book once. It was by Tyrese. The title of it was called "Get Out of Your Own Way." A lot of you guys are in your own way, and in order to get out of that and just to kind of let things happen, you get rid of all the expectations that you put on yourself and just be who you are right now and just continue to build on that.
Facts.
And take John's advice, man, and just go get it.
Get it, man.
Just go
this
get it.
grind, I love it, man. You know,
Yeah.
That's what it just makes it worth it. When you're in the right place at the right time, it makes everything that you go through worth it.
Absolutely.
You know, because
Absolutely.
like you've been at a job that you didn't like to do.
We all have.
And you had to pay that cost, and it felt like it just cost too much. But when you find the right job and you find the right position at the right time, like I'll pay this cost 1,000 times over, because being able to spend time, you know, creating, being able to financially take care of me and my wife, shout out to my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to do all of that brings me so much peace, because I feel like I'm finally at a place where I'm in position of what I do and who I love to do it for and the people that I do it with.
Man, that's real. And one of just because you said something real quick, it just takes me back to like high school, right? When you first get your car and you throw some speakers in there, and you throw the sound system, and you realize you're doing and spending all this money to do things to impress other dudes, and the goal was to try to impress other females. You know, you're not in the right lane, bro.
You're not in the right lane, bro.
So
she just needs something that's dependable and looks nice.
She just wants you there, man, and she just wants you to get her to point A to point B.
Right.
Stop trying to
put some air freshener in there or something.
We say that to say, man, just do you, be in your own lane.
Yes, sir.
Do your thing, and like I said, but this has been the Quay Vision Board podcast. John, real quick, look into your camera. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at JONSPASSION, JONSPASSION. That's my IG, or you can find me on my website, jonspassion.com.
Please hit him up, guys. Please hit him up. We're definitely going to have him back. So when he does come back, hit us up. Let us know what you guys want us to tackle on next, because like I said, this is the dude that's been, especially for you creators out there, this is the dude that's been in the cinematography camera game for the better part of 13, 14 years now.
Yeah.
He has a ton of knowledge. I'm only been in this game for about 3 years, so
come on. You've been eating though. Man, I'm gonna drop one more, bro. It's not about how long. It's not about how long you've been doing it. It's how many hours you're gonna put in. You can lap some of the oldest of OGs if you just really want to get into it and get it. And so even for the OGs, that's why we can't sleep. You know, and so.
See, man, we almost rattled off on a whole nother topic. So let's end this episode. So like it's funny because when we get creators on like you and we can literally just sit up here and talk for hours, guys. Day. And literally that's the reason why I wanted to start this podcast is because I have conversations with guys like this off camera all the time.
Facts.
And I get so much from it that we just wanted to put it on camera, get it out to you guys so you guys can get some of the knowledge and some of the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. So tap in with us, man. If you want to, just hit us up in the comments. Let us know what was your favorite nugget. What was your favorite thing. Hit up John, like I said. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Man, peace and blessings.
Peace out. John, man, appreciate you.
Hey, come on.
We'll see y'all. Peace.
I've been all in my bag. You been all in my business. You be all in your feelings. I've been all in them trenches. I've been all in my bag.